empowerment program, which was designed to create an army of highly empowered and dynamic youngsters to do socially relevant work in different parts of India and abroad. Swami Mitrananda has traveled to many countries: United Kingdom, Turkey, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Dubai, etc., to spread the message of Hinduism and Vedanta. He represented India at the Global Forum of Faith-Based Organizations for Population and Development, organized by UNFPA in Turkey in October 2008. Special modules of programs like Family Pact workshops and drop program are designed by Mitrananda ji, and he also has trained many householders and professionals to become spiritual trainers and spread this knowledge in educational institutes and corporate groups, thus expanding the movement to a different level. Swamiji is also the playwright and director of several successful stage shows like Death, Surya 108, India 2047, LOC, and many more. Swamiji is also very popular amongst the youth and the elders of Southeast Asia, UK, Spain, and US as a non-conventional teacher, an inspiring speaker, and a modern thinker. I would like to welcome the youth icon, an inspiring speaker, and above all, our beloved Swamiji, to come up on the dais and share with us his wisdom on empowerment through excellence.
My salutations to His Excellency Srinivas J. Patil and to everyone present here. Pranam, good morning. I'm extremely happy and I express my gratitude to Chandra Mission Gangtok and to this wonderful university here. Thank you for hosting us. We have been traveling from 8th May, covered probably 12,000 kilometers and reached more than 150,000 people. And last night we reached Gangtok. We are here today, and tomorrow we leave to Coach Bihar, and then into the Far East up to Arunachal Pradesh, and then come back to Middle India, and then move towards Kashmir. It's a long journey. The journey continues till 31st December, where every day we have some program like this, and a special program conceived for children, where they watch an animated presentation on mythological depictions and symbolism of Hindu culture in a planetarium. That's what we have. I'm very, very happy to address you here today. There was a group of young people. They were driving and a police was following them closely. And they were driving well, and the police kept on following them. At one point of time on the highway, the police overtook and stopped them, saying, "Stop." So the boys got down from the car, one of them, and said, "What happened?" He said, "Today is a road safety week, and you guys have been following the traffic rules so perfectly. So we thought we should award young people driving well. So we saw you and we observed, and therefore we award you." And this happened in the United States. "So we award you $1,000 US, something worth 60,000 rupees. Okay. The cop was giving the check, and he asked the youngster, "What are you going to do with this money?" There were 4 or 5 people in the car. So one of them said, "Probably go apply for a license." Go apply for a license. The second guy behind woke up. He understood that the guy blabbered and that was a mistake. To make up, he said to the police officer, "Sir, don't pay attention to him. He always speaks like this whenever he's drunk." When he's drunk, he speaks like this. Don't pay attention to him. Third guy who was sleeping in the car woke up. And he looked at them and he said, guys, I told you, we can't drive too far in a stolen car. The $1,000 which came on their way slipped out. Jokes apart, that's what most of us do. Wonderful opportunities comes to us and we slip it out. They come to us, but we do not know how to catch them. Just turn back and look into your own life. How many opportunities must have come which we did not catch and we missed? We must be empowered to be strong enough to get half a chance and build upon it. A weak mind misses out opportunities. A very alert mind catches even half chances and makes a difference. So it is the mind in us which is the doer. Body is only a tool. The entire spiritual science is only an art, taming the mind so that the mind can live to its own potential. Today, people hardly live to their potential. Please introspect, young friends. Please introspect. Are you living to your potential? The potential what you have, how much more you can do? Are you living to your potential? Many of us fail. We don't live up to our potential, few. And those who start living to their potential make a great difference. We think very limited. Therefore, we achieve limited. This is the problem. Our thinking is limited, destination is also limited. Thinking is limited, what we achieve is limited. If we can learn the art of thinking big, looking at things with a greater vision, then we make a difference. Abdul Kalam and his team, his mentors, Dhawan, Sarabhai, young scientists they were. At one point of time, when India did not have enough money, and India was seen as an underdeveloped country, many of the young people here, you are very, very fortunate because you are born into the country when it is said it is shifting to be a great power. You are born into a country where it is said that India is next destination. We are moving ahead. I was born when India was considered underdeveloped. In my childhood and youth, when I was in university, it was the hardest thing to accept that you are from an underdeveloped country, India, underdeveloped country. But today we are looking at India as the next destination, global power. And at that time when we were considered underdeveloped, people like Kalam, mainly Sarabhai, had a vision. They said, we will make our own satellites. 4 countries in the world has done their own satellites at that point of time. Late 70s. These young people, young scientists made a claim. We will make our own satellites. They tried. First attempt. And before the first attempt, there were 2 different opinions, even in the government. Even in the ruling party, there were 2 different opinions saying, should India venture into all this? Because we have succeeded asking some other country to help us. We had the first satellite called Aryabhatta, second satellite called Bhaskara. We have done this, taking other countries' help, but we ourselves have never done. Should we risk so much of money into it? So the nation had a couple of opinions. International media was watching us, saying, can India ever do this? Can these people do? Friends, I want you to watch these images. Please Google today. Not now, later. Google these images. You know the Indian satellite story? You have bullock carts carrying satellite launchers. Can you think of it? We are going into the outer space, but India at that point was they have to carry some of these parts on a bullock cart. And scientists were going in Sriharikota in cycle. bicycle, one sitting and the other one sitting behind, doubles holding parts of rockets. And we attempted, and the world watched us, and we failed miserably. A department which Abdul Kalam was controlling, there was some flaw and it flopped. The third level, when the rocket has to leave, it did not, it turned back, landed in Bay of Bengal. Please think for yourself, what would have been the uproar of the nation? What would have been the encouragement these people would have got? How much we would have appreciated their effort. Nothing. Failure, everyone criticized. But the government stood and said, no, you try once again, no problem, we'll be with you. Everybody was condemning, and these young scientists, with the support of the government saying, go ahead once more, but be careful, you can't afford another mistake. They made an attempt once again in 6 months' time, and we managed to shoot our own rocket, SLV-3 Rohini. It launched. It changed India. It changed India. We became a progressive country from that day. Till then, we were underdeveloped. Science has played a great role in India's progress. Science has played a great role in Indian economic development. If, minus Abdul Kalam, the other two names I referred, Sarabhai, Dhawan, if I show you those pictures, how many of you would recognize them? Be honest. If I show the pictures of Sarabhai, Dhawan, how many of you here would notice and recognize? Yes, I know that is Dhawan. I know this is Sarabhai. If I show the picture of Sachin Tendulkar, if I show the picture of Katrina Kaif, if I show the picture of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Baichung Bhutia, we know. No doubt they are good, great Indians. Have contributed in the field of entertainment, but not progress. And these are the people who have helped us to progress. We don't even notice them. And still, silently, these people do. You understand? Why? They had a vision. That is what I call as catching an off chance. They believed in themselves. Nobody was encouraging them. People around were not encouraging. Not much appreciation came. Media only condemned them. I'll tell you, Indian media has not done justice to Indian scientists. In the second attempt, when the rocket has to go, one of the leading national newspapers puts a cartoon on the front page. 11 o'clock or so, the rocket has to go, the second attempt. And the leading newspaper says, fishermen don't venture into the sea. Today is a bright sunny day. Bright sunny day, and fishermen don't venture into the sea. Down. Indian scientists are shooting rockets again. This is Indian media encouraging the scientist. Imagine those people who would have read it. How hard it would have been on them. They are attempting for something to progress, for the nation to progress. All of us are benefited by them. And the condemnation is to this level, ridiculing. Yet, they did it. That's when they think big. That's when they understand, even if people around do not understand what I am doing, I continue to do, slowly people will follow. Slowly they will recognize they did not give up. Imagine only 4 nations have shot their own satellites up in the orbit. India was the 5th nation, and in bullock carts they carried the parts. How much they must have believed and how much they had that vision saying we can do it. If we think limited, we stay limited. If we think big, practical, doable, and expand the boundaries, then we can. And we can do it. It is doable. I like talking about these kind of great Indians, people of substance, who otherwise is not known. Because from them we derive inspiration, not from glamorous people. Glamorous people can inspire us to do something, that's it. But these people can inspire us to do something which is everlasting. Indian youngsters across from Srinagar, Kanyakumari, Leh, Ladakh to Kanyakumari down south, we have to change. We have to appreciate substance, not just glamour. Glamour is something very different. Substance matters. And we need to appreciate substance. If the Indian youth starts appreciating substance, the speed in which we will progress will be much faster, much greater. So we have to be men of substance, and we have to aspire. So the whole thing starts with thinking. Right thinking, thinking big, thinking that which is difficult but can be attempted. Many people don't think. Today youngsters don't think big. They don't aspire that which is difficult. They all want to settle down to something which is easy. That is a weak mind. A weak mind which wants to settle down to mediocrity. That mind has to be empowered to think big and achieve big. So from this mediocrity thinking, we need to empower mind into positiveness so that the mind starts thinking big. And we can do. I'll tell you another example of inspiration. I'm sure very, very few people in the audience would have even heard this name. A name by name Kaundinya. Have you heard of this name Kaundinya? He's from Tamil Nadu. In the 4th century, this person Kaundinya gathers few of his young friends and tells them, we will venture into the high seas. Sail into the high sea. In 4th century, please remember, Indians were sailing 2000 years ago. And it's a wrong and absolute misnomer for the Europe to say, sir, what is his name? Vasco da Gama came and found sea route to India. No. Vasco da Gama came in 14th or 15th century. We were sailing 2000 years before. We had Indian sea trade. It's a very, very interesting subject. A lot of research can be done. Young friends, some of you can take it up, and it will reveal a different India to us if we can study on ancient Indian sea trade. So in 4th century, this young man wants to venture into the high seas. What do you have? GPS? Wherever you are, you can be seen, positioned. You can find your positioning? No, there was no GPS. Was there a mariner's compass? No, even that wasn't there. So how do you go into the sea? In the daytime, depend upon the sun and measure the longitude and latitude. In the night, depend upon the stars. And once you go into the sea, you're lost. You have no clue. And this young man ventured. A great Indian with few people. Imagine in the south of India, from Tamil Nadu he comes out, goes down to Malaysia, Singapore, and then from that side reaches Cambodia. Great exploration, isn't it? A very adventure-seeking man. Moves down and with no clue how to move. Where? But with courage. Let's go and see. There should be a land, we will go. And he reaches Cambodia. Language, he speaks Tamil. In Cambodia, they had their own dialects. But the Cambodians took a liking to him. They liked him and his team. They welcomed him. They made a good friendship, a great pact. And the princes of Cambodia fell in love with him. It's a great love story. Language, two people can't speak, but they could understand each other better. And they wanted to learn more about our culture, because they were quite different in culture, and here they wanted to learn, and this culture was exchanged. And the princess married him. Soma Devi is her name. And he, with one Divakar Pandit, set up base for the biggest temple on earth. The biggest temple is not in India. The biggest temple is in Cambodia, called Angkor Wat. The original name was Nagar Vatika. Divakar Pandit is from Maharashtra. So he suggested we will call it Nagar Vatika, which is later turned out to become Angkor Wat. And they set up the biggest temple. Today it's a great tourist attraction. But this one Indian ventured. No bloodshed, nothing. It's love. What a brilliant ambassador he must have been. Not even knowing the language of the other country. Inspired, and they lived. And great connections we have. But this Indian is not alone. We don't find about him in our books. Again, a man of substance. And there are many such men of substance in our culture. We need to stay inspired by them. So we can look at these examples, they inspire us, and we should learn to think big so that the mind is focused on a greater goal and we push our best to do it. Don't settle down to mediocrity. This year being Swami Chinmayananji's birth centenary. Swami Chinmayananji is my guru, obviously all of you must have understood that by now. And he used to tell us, in life, when you do something, you achieve. Next time when you go out to do, improve upon it. This is called empowering. When you have achieved something, next time you want to do something, improve upon your earlier performance. And he used to tell youth, compete with your own earlier performance. Improve upon it. Try doing this and then you see what happens. You know what happens when you try to go on improving upon your earlier performance? What you have performed, improve upon it. Next time when you want to perform, improve upon your earlier performance. Every time you start doing it, it becomes an obsession. Excellence becomes a habit. Just think how life would be once excellence becomes a habit. So we can, all of us have the potential, all of us can do. Learn to think big. Aspire for the higher. Don't settle down for ordinary. Keep people of substance as your role models, not just the people of glamour. Change your thinking. And whenever you go out to perform, try to perform better than what you performed earlier. This, if we do, we would be definitely progressing, definitely becoming better. In this prestigious university, I would like to tell you, Chinmaya Mission has 300 centers around the world. We run 90 educational schools, 90 Chinmaya Vidyalayas in India and abroad. We reach out to all age groups, Bal Vihar, Yuva Kendra, Bal Vihar for children, youth, teenagers, Chinmaya Yuva Kendra for the teenagers and youth. Adults, we have study classes. For mothers, we have Devi group. And senior citizens, we have Vanaprastha Samsthan. At all age groups we reach, and Swami Chinmayananji did this. He made educated, intellectual Hindus who were not looking into the scriptures to look into it and appreciate it. That's a great contribution. And he reached out to all levels. And today, every day, today if you see how the movement has picked up, every day in the evening, people like me, we have 300 in numbers in Chinmaya Mission, have talked somewhere or other, and we reach out every day only to the evening crowd, more than 25,000 people. Now that's the vision. One man started, and this is how it has spread. Around the globe, we reach people who seek spiritual knowledge, 25,000 people every day. I'm not taking our regular attendance of Bal Vihar Yuva Kendra, Chinmaya Vidyalaya. Chinmaya Vidyalaya at any given point of time will have 1 lakh families associated because our strength is 1.5 lakhs in the school itself. I'm not taking into all that. But this man had a vision. For those who have the spiritual quest, he saw to it that it reaches, and his vision has gone where we reach 25,000 people every day in the evenings. What I would like to say more happily here is we are now starting a university in the coming year. We never had a university, and now we are starting a university for Indology. And the vision behind the university is science should meet scriptures. Scriptures have great depth. Science has also great depth. These two have to meet. Those who are well versed in scriptures are not well versed in science. And those who are well versed in science do not know Sanskrit. So what is there in it, we do not know. But if you see, Germans do this very well. They go into our scriptures deep enough, find out the best of it, and make scientific progress. So here we start a university where the science would meet scriptures. This was Gurudev's Rwachan and his vision, where science would meet scriptures, so that we understand today, quantum physics, if you see, is a subject which has come very close to Vedanta. Vedanta is still ahead of quantum physics. In science, quantum physics has moved well forward, but still Vedanta stays little ahead. If that gap from quantum physics to Vedanta is matched, many mysteries of the world would be resolved. So we attempt this university where science would meet scriptures. I thought I would share that also with you. It was wonderful talking to all of you. Thank you very much.
Do not seek easy way, have a great vision. Thank you, Swamiji, for the inspirational talk. I hope everyone could take something from whatever Swamiji spoke today and implement it to empower ourselves and excel in life. Moral State, Honorable Governor of Sikkim, His Excellency Sri Srinivas Dadasaheb Patil.
My warm greetings to you all. It's my pleasure to be among you all at this festival of spiritual knowledge with an objective to empower the youth, to acquaint them with our great heritage and ocean of knowledge called Vedanta. It is indeed a great opportunity for all of us to gather pearls of wisdom from our glorious past and internalize for our mental and spiritual empowerment. It's a rare occasion for us to listen Swami Mitranandaji, who is known worldwide as a Vedanta scholar par excellence, with specialization in assimilation of Vedic message with scientific and logical reasoning. It is really the need of the time that the scale and the scope of knowledge from our glorious past, which made Bharat as Vishwaguru, be refurbished and revived with scientific approach and power of reasoning. It is high time to let our youth realize that our Vedas, Upanishads and other spiritual texts are not merely the mythological texts, but the fountain of knowledge.